Folks, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Here we go, Championship Sunday. There's action in other sports, but really let's just focus on what lies ahead for us coming up today. Championship Sunday in the NFL. 4 teams, one win away from an appearance in the Super Bowl. The ironic nature of this is the game in Seattle is actually the early game. Green Bay and Seattle. You're looking at 7.5 in this game. Total on the contest, 46.5. So many questions abound with Aaron Rodgers and that calf injury. He really was kind of a sitting duck last week against the Cowboys, but still was able to make great plays. But that was at home. Now he's going against that Seattle defense who has the advantage with crowd noise. Green Bay, Eddie Lacy's going to have a big day. I will just say this to you, as we look at some of the props for this game, I got to go with Eddie Lacy over 60.5 yards rushing. I would also think Seattle would be prone to play nickel and dime and hope their defensive line can wreak havoc on their own, but they want to contain Rodgers as much as possible. They'll be aggressive at times to put heat on Rodgers up the middle because he's just not that mobile. But if Green Bay has any shot in this game, Aaron Rodgers may be the MVP, but Eddie Lacy is going to have a big game. There are props that are out there. Will Jordy Nelson score a touchdown? How about Jordy Nelson receiving yards? Over under 80.5. Receiving yards, Randall Cobb 68.5. Aaron Rodgers passing yards 265.5. As for Seattle, the props focus on quarterback Russell Wilson. Touchdown passes thrown over under 1.5. Completions by Wilson over under 18. How about rushing yards? Russell Wilson over under 44.5. Receiving yards for Doug Baldwin, 57.5 yards. And the yes-no prop, big favorite, minus $1.55 on the yes. Will Marshawn Lynch score a touchdown? And then we get to the Patriots and Colts, and we look at this game. Professional money surfaced on the Colts early, got it below the key number of 7, 6.5, kind of the 6.5, the consensus most of the week. But know that New England is a public team. The general public gets involved. They bet the Pats and the over on game day. So if you're laying the number with New England, get it as early as you can. There's still a chance this game gets back to 7. It's likely that it does. It was professional money that drove the game below the key number of 7. Luck went on the road. He got the win. That's a step forward in his legacy, but Manning was not 100%. Broncos played a bizarre football game. Can he go into New England and do it? Now, you can shoot some holes at New England, too. They got the win against Baltimore, but they were down 14 points twice. They really never got the running game on track, but when they throttled Indy earlier in the year, it was the running game that got it done. Some of the props involved for you on the Colts and Patriots. You know Tom Brady's going to be a focus of attention, as is Andrew Luck. Luck, 310.5 passing yards. Well, last week it was 308.5 against the Broncos. It went way under because Indy got the lead and they didn't have to throw the football. But if they're not ahead in this one, look for him to just have a field day in terms of yardage. Hilton, will he score a touchdown? The no's the favorite, $1.55. Completions by Brady, 23.5. Touchdown passes by Brady, over under 2. Julian Edelman, 72.5 yards projected in the game. And then Rob Gronkowski, who flew over the total last week, 82.5 yards. It's just a great time of year when you get these props that are involved inside the game. And then, of course, after we know the participants, 2 weeks from now, you've got the big game with over 300 props that will be available in the game. And that is just it's a plethora of betting opportunities where you can really dissect, and you can do it and utilize it inside your handicap of the game as an add-on. But there are other areas where it's almost a fail-safe. You got your game going here, but if you're focused on a particular player, may not necessarily have an impact on the outcome of the game, but you can make some money by saying who's going to have a great or a subpar game. Love the props, love the action in Las Vegas. You're going to love the opportunities you get with oddsworthbetting.com. We got the featured pick of the day, Championship Sunday. It's available to you right below this video.